Namaste students, to with you. I JVN Dr. Naren Singh Segat, Assistant Professor Department of Sarla Tantra, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's Institute, Jaipur. In previous classes, we discussed about anatomy of liver and disorders of liver. In today's class, we will discuss about portal hypertension. In this diagram, you can see the hepatic portal circulation. Heart pumped blood into abdominal aorta and proper aorta to hepatic artery to liver to hepatic veins by inferior vein joint drain to left atrium of right atrium of liver. This is the hepatic circulation. As you can see, uh, splenic vein and superior mesenteric veins drain blood into hepatic portal vein and it drain into liver. Yes, students. Sustained elevation of portal pressure more than 12 mm of Hg is called portal hypertension. Normal range of portal pressure is 8 to 12 mm of Hg. A rise in portal pressure stimulates portal systemic circulation. Portal vein carries 75% of blood flow to liver with all nutrients to maintain its integrity and give 50% oxygen supply to liver. 25% of hepatic blood flow given remaining 50% of oxygen supply to liver. Portal hypertension causes suspensive portosystemic venous collateral information, altered intrahepatic circulation, and increased splenic blood flow. High pressure portal blood is diverted via coronary, short gastric, and esophageal veins into azygous veins. There is increased portal resistance and increased portal blood flow. Increased resistance may be sinusoidal, and post-sinusoidal. Uh, these are the causes of pre-sinusoidal, extrahepatic and intrahepatic. Extrahepatic portal vein, splenic vein thrombosis, intrahepatic schistosomiasis and sarcoidosis. Sinusoidal causes cirrhosis, hematochromosis, Wilson disease, congenital hepatic fibrosis. Post-sinusoidal is Budd-Chiari syndrome, congestive heart failure, veno-occlusive disease also. Causes of causes of portal hypertension. First, prehepatic. These are the prehepatic cause. B hepatic. These causes mentioned in the hepatic and post-hepatic causes are these. Sides of porta systematic collateral, as you can see, lower end of the esophagus between left gastric and short gastric veins with azygos. Umbilicus between paraumbilical vein and anterior abdominal vein resulting in caput medusa. Retroperitoneum, bare area of liver, lower end of the rectum. These are the sides of porta systemic collateral. This is the porta systemic collaterals. As you can see in the diagram, this one is one, two, three, and bare area of liver also. Okay, students. Photo showing caput medusa. This is a photo medusa. Presentation means clinical features. Triodoportal hypertension for esophageal varix, splenomegaly, and ascites. These are the common and main triodo portal hypertension. Jaundice features of encephalopathy, recurrent infection, coagulopathy, hepatorenal syndromes. Investigations: liver function test, ultrasound, ultrafetoprotein, MELD scoring. This is a patient with ascites with portal hypertension. Doppler imaging, HVPG, hepatic venous pressure gradient, splenotography. Now management. For portal hypertension, first general measures anemia due to corrected to be corrected. Anemia to be corrected. Nutrition supplementation, injection vitamin K, 10 mg IM for 5 days. Specific measures. Treatment of esophageal varix, prevention of petic encephalopathy, treatment of ascites, measure of reduced portal pressure, surgery, port, systemic stent, non-selective and selective. Transjugular intrahepatic port systematic tips. This is the transjugular hepatic port systemic stent are typically placed by an interventional radiologist under fluoroscope guidance. Access to biliary is gained, as the name transjugular suggests, via internal jugular vein in the neck. Once access to the jugular vein is confirmed, a guide wire and introducer seat are typically placed to facilitate the shunt placement. This enables the interventional radiologist to gain access to the patient's hepatic vein by traveling from superior vena cava into the inferior vena cava and finally the hepatic vein. Once the catheter is in hepatic vein, a gauge pressure is obtained to calculate the pressure gradient in the liver. Following this, carbon dioxide is injected to the locate the portal vein. Then a special needle known as calpinto is advanced of the liver parenchyma to connect the hepatic vein to the large portal vein near the center of liver. The channel of the shunt is next created by inflating an angioplasty balloon within the liver along with the tract created by the needle. The shunt is complex by placing a special mesh tube known as stent and endograft to maintain the tract between the higher pressure portal vein and the lower pressure hepatic vein. After the procedure, fluoroscopy images are made to show placement, pressure in the portal vein and vena cava after measure. Drug to reduce the portal pressure like propanol, nadolol, isosorbidide, liver transplant. Final treatment is liver transplant. This pic is showing the tips trans infrared tips procedure. Okay, students. This session is powered by Digital Session 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth One University. Hope you are satisfied with this digital session. If you have any doubts or queries, please mention in comment box. I will resolve it soon. Thank you, students. Namaste, students. I JVN Dr. Narendra Singh Segot, Assistant Professor, Department of Shalatantra, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth One University, Jaipur. In previous class we discussed about definition, causes, etiology, pathophysiology of renal stone. In sequence, in sequence, today we will discuss about types and diagnostic techniques of renal stone to find out renal stone. Let's begin with types. Oxalate stone, also called as mulberry stone, as it is brown in color with sharp projection. It is invariably calcium oxalate stone, show envelope and crystals in urine. It is invariably calcium. It is invariably calcium oxalate stones, show envelope crystal in urine. Phosphate stones, 10 to 15%. It is either calcium phosphate or calcium magnesium ammonium phosphate stone, usually occurring in an infected urine. It is smooth and white in color. In an alkaline urine, it enlarges rapidly, filling renal calyx, taking their shape called as staghorn calculus. It is radiopaque and attains a large size. Uric acid stones are smooth, hard, yellowish, multiple, and radiolucent. They are seen in gout, hyperuricosuriasia. Urate stones. Cystine stones occur in cystinuria where there is defective absorption of cystine from the renal tubules. Autosomal recessive condition. It, it is seen in young girls, occur only in acidic urine. It is multiple soft yellow in color. It attains large. It is radio opaque because it contains sulfur. Xanthine stones are very rare, smooth brick red in color due to altered xanthine metabolism. Here there is deficiency in xanthine oxidase enzyme. Indigo stones, very rare blue in color. Struvite stone, it is a compound of magnesium, ammonium phosphate and mixed with carbonate. It occurs in presence of ammonia and urea splitting organisms in urine. Example Proteus Klebsiella. Shape of crystals in urine. Ta- First, types and types correlated with shape of crystal. Calcium oxalate monohydrate crystal shape is dumbbell shape. Calcium oxalate dihydrate shape is envelope shape. Uric acid uric acid shape is yellowish of varying size and shape. Cystine hexagonal very soft stone. Triple stone shape is coffin lid shape. Clinical features. Pain. Renal pain is located over renal angle, hypochondrium, and lumbar region. Often severe, radiating to grow and testes in male with vomiting due to pylorospasm. Pain worsen on movement. Hematuria is common. Pyluria. Fever. Tenderness in renal angle with often a mass in the loin due to hydronephrosis, which moves with respiration and is bimanually transferable. Dilatable, smooth, soft, as urinary tract infection. Often hypertension. Investigations. Blood, ESR, serum, calcium, phosphate, creatinine, blood, urea, uric acids. Urine, calcium urate, cystine if suspected, only pH, specific gravity. Plain X-ray, KUB to see kidney shadows, stones. IBU to see renal function and hypertension. US abdomen can detect every radiolucent stone and give information about the changes in renal parenchyma. Urinalysis and culture and sensitivity to identify bacteria. Diagnostic studies. First of all, we can do cystoscopy, as you can see in this diagram. Then IVP, intravenous pressure. We can measure intravenous pressure in this. The USG. This is very unique diagnostic tool for renal stone. Treatment part will start in next class. So student, this is about all about the types of renal stone and diagnostic techniques of renal stone. This session is powered by Digital Session 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. I hope you are satisfied with this digital session, digital version 2.0, powered by 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. I hope you are satisfied with this digital session. If you have any doubts and query, please mention comment box. I will resolve it soon. Thank you, students.